Hello and welcome to another episode of May Contain Traces of Soy, the podcast all about surviving and thriving on a plant-based, zero-waste lifestyle. I'm your host, Rochelle, and thank you so much for joining us today. Hello to everyone watching at home. We are recording this one for YouTube as well, guys, so if you would like to see our lovely faces, just head over to YouTube and you can catch the video there. So today, it's not just me, it's also my partner, Dan, who's on the podcast with me as well. You guys will remember him from such episodes as Drinking Vegan, my top 5 favorite vegan burgers, and many others. Welcome to the podcast, Dan.
Thank you.
He's excited to be here. Listen to the excitement. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today, before we do jump into what we're doing, I should say that the podcast is coming back now. We are in 2022, and this will either be our first or second episode.
Why don't you have to check your watch today?
I don't.
It's 2022. Yeah.
It doesn't even say it on there either. Like,
No.
I have no excuse. All right. Yes, it's 2022. We're back. We're going to be doing an episode every fortnight. Dan's going to be joining for a lot more of them, I think. We're getting you on for those? I think we are. So we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be covering a bunch of different stuff. We're planning on having some more people on as guests, which should be fun. But if you have any topics that you would like covered on the podcast, you can hit us up over on Instagram. We are Make It Tame Traces of Soy, or on Facebook, and we will give you a shout out on the next show when we cover your topic. So definitely head over, follow us there. If you're enjoying the podcast, please do give it a follow on Instagram and Facebook, and just give us a review if you want to on, Apple Podcasts. All right, we'll jump into today's episode now. We are planning on reviewing 5 different milk alternatives. We've actually got 3 soy milks because there are 3 different types that we've bought. And then we've got an almond milk and an oat milk, but we do use a different type of oat milk regularly. So we've got 5 milks that we're reviewing today. We're going to be going through and we're going to be giving these ones a, out of 10 rating based on their taste, their texture, mouth feel. Is that what we decide? Mouth feel,
Yeah,
guys?
I guess sort of like, I don't know, some of them are a bit weird, and, some of, I haven't had an almond milk for a while, but in the past, almond milks have kind of been a bit lumpy.
Not lumpy.
No,
They go lumpy. You know what? We'll get to that when we cover the almond milk.
Right.
Let's not spoil the surprise, okay? This needs to be a blind taste review. Not blind. We're looking at them. This needs to be like a taste review where we just stop and we think about them. But we're going to be reviewing on taste, on texture / mouthfeel. We're going to be talking about the price, whether or not it's good with a cookie, whether or not it's good in coffee. So we're going to be looking at all of those things. We're also going to be discussing how sustainable the milks are, based more generally on soy milk itself, almond milk itself, and not these specific brands. But we will be sort of going through a bit of an overview of that. Spoiler alert, they're all better for the environment than dairy milk. Who would have thought? So we're going to be jumping into that now. But first up, where do you want to start? Do you think we'll start with almond?
Yeah, go on.
Do it?
Go on.
All right, guys. So the very first one we're going to be reviewing is the Almond Breeze almond milk. This is 40 calories a serving, it tells me quite proudly on the front.
So we have done something like...
I've done footage of them already.
No, but like based on the calories or this.
I'm not going to talk about the calories because this is not like a health-focused podcast. They can see us now. They know that, all right? They know because they're looking at us. But yeah, no, I don't really like to talk about calories and stuff. There's not a lot of point to talking about that in my opinion.
Well, aren't you a good consumer? You just saw that on the front and it just, 40 calories.
Well, the fact that they put that on the front tells me that they are very much, marketing this towards people who are health conscious, who are worried about how many calories are in a serve. That's a selling point of this milk, obviously, is the low cal. And that's not going to be the case for something like, say, our sweetened vanilla soy milk.
I'm going to call bullshit on that being 5 stars. We'll get to that in a moment.
5 stars.
Health rating.
All right. We're going to crack this bad boy open. This is an unsweetened almond milk by Almond Breeze. We've not really been much for almond milk like most of the time. That's usually not what we drink. Generally at home, we've been doing a lot of oat milk, and occasionally we'll do like a soy milk, but we tend to stick to those two. So we are going to give this bad boy a bit of a taste now. A little bit of a taste test. Whoop, whoop, splash. A little bit of splash back there, babe.
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Little almond milk taste test. Okay, hang on.
Oh, cheers. Yeah.
Cheers. All right.
I mean,
Okay, so it tastes like I chewed up an almond with some water in my mouth. That's kind of what this almond milk tastes
yeah,
like.
it's not.
I can taste
oh,
the
yeah.
almonds. But it tastes mostly like water and almonds. It looks to be a little bit more creamy than it actually is. Like, that's so much more watery than it looks to be.
I'm gonna say I reckon I had that 2 years ago, and it's maybe better than it was.
That's a strong claim. That is a strong claim right there. I don't know if that's true. He feels that it's maybe a bit better. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think I
gonna
agree.
say there's something. I'm not sure what it is, but it's got a bit of a bitter aftertaste or something. Not bitter. It's just not. Yeah, it's not my.
There is a bit of a bitter aftertaste. I'm definitely getting that. I feel like it's a lot more watery. So for texture, like, what would you rate that for taste? I mean, my vibe on the almond milk is like, I feel it's too watery. I guess this one's unsweetened as well, but
What are we going out of? Like
out of 10.
out of 10?
Yeah.
Taste? Oh, I don't know. It's not like. Probably a solid 5. I'm gonna give it.
A 5 for taste. Okay. I'm not giving it a 5. I think it gets like a
Out of 10.
out of 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for something that's supposed to be a milk, it just tastes like watery almonds. I'm going to give that a 2.5.
Yeah.
You are a quarter of how good you could be, almond milk. So lift your game. All right, so that's almond milk. Oh, you drank all
Actually,
of
no. I'm
this.
not gonna give that 5. What am
You
I
drink
saying?
the rest of mine?
No, that's not.
No. Okay.
No, it's. I guess that says it doesn't deserve a 5. Yeah, look, maybe 4. I'm dropping it down to 4.
I don't like it. I just don't like it. All right. Not for me. 2 out of 5 for me. Mouth feel, I definitely think it deserves like a 2, maybe even a 1. I'm going to give it a 1.
I'm gonna give
Harsh.
it a
Pretty
3
harsh
for, a 3
today.
for the old mouthfeel, I reckon.
So price, I'll just get the price for you. So that particular almond milk is $2.50. So I actually thought Almond Breeze was a more expensive brand. It's a well-known brand, you know. I thought it was, but no, not that expensive. Only $2.50. Look, I think that's pretty good for price. I'm going to give him 7 out of 10 for price. Now, in a coffee, normally we would say we'll try... Oh, okay, the taste test for the coffee is coming, guys. We'll just hold off on that and then we'll come back to it in a second.
Well, that might be the one for texture.
Well, he's preparing the coffee and, you know, getting that so that we can do a proper test for this almond milk. I'll give you some stats about almond milk as far as how it measures up for sustainability. So almond milk has one of the lowest greenhouse gas emissions. It's a lot less than dairy, but it does have one of the highest water usages. So it's 130 pints of water to make a single glass of almond milk.
130 pints.
130 pints.
And is that like, is it a pint glass of
I
size
assume
of
it's a pint
milk?
glass size. Like, that's how
don't know.
pint is measured. So I would say that's how it's... Yeah, so that's a lot of water. So that is 74.3 liters to make 1 cup of almond milk. The emissions that it produces in kilos for 1 cup of almond milk is 0.14. And oh no, it's doing the thing. And land use via square meters is 0.1. So that's a lot less square meters land use than you have for dairy for a cup of milk. And it's a lot less than you have for... Yeah, it's a lot less than dairy, but it's not less than all the others. So you can see here how it separates. The fats in the almond milk separate when you add it to a hot beverage, and you wind up with this weird kind of like cloudy beverage, not creamy. Just to give you an idea for comparison, this is like just, you know, regular soy milk. That's a coffee with regular soy milk. That's the almond milk.
All right, I'm going to have a taste of that now.
What do you think?
I mean, it doesn't really... It just tastes like my coffee is slightly watered down. There's not really a bitter aftertaste or anything, but yeah, it's really just off-putting to look down
It
at
is
though. It's
off-putting
just
to
you
look
look
at
at it and it sort of curdles or something. And I mean, here's where it's really easy to tell that this is based on a nut. You know, you can tell it's been derived from almonds because it just looks like someone has very finely minced up some almonds and chucked them in the coffee. Yeah, look, I'm not a...
Not a massive fan.
I'm not a huge fan of the almond milk. All right, so that.
So, I mean, I put texture at a 1 and I stand by that. Without trying it in coffee, I was like, texture gets a 1. Texture / mouth feel. I guess we're looking too for the consistency. Is it able to stand up to a hot beverage? In this case, no, it is not. Almond milk, you fail.
So texture and mouthfeel, that's the same category for it?
Yeah, that's the same
right.
category. Yeah.
I'm going to give that,
Yeah.
2.5 because of how shit it is in coffee. Like, it's just
And
not
in
good,
coffee,
hey?
we'll give it a 0.
What are our categories?
I gave you our categories here. So categories.
It's like, all right. Jeez. Someone's come unprepared. It's me.
It's always him, guys. It's never me.
All right, texture and mouthfeel of this theme. I was kind of combining that with the coffee.
Okay, cool.
All right,
let's just talk about if you were to have it with a cookie, how would you feel about it with a cookie? Good, bad?
Oh, I mean...
I don't think it's got the right kind of flavor, and I don't think it has the creaminess to support a cookie or a milkshake, for example. Like, those are the sorts of things I want to address when we talk about these milks. Is it going to be good for this? Is it going to be good for that? I think it's important. I think our listeners want to know. This whole topic was actually suggested by one of my most regular listeners, who's actually just one of my best friends. But yeah, Benny, at BennyColeAU on Instagram, hit me up and said, can we please have one about the different milks and about sustainability? And I was like, absolutely. Let's cover that. And I think Benny would want to know, is it good for a milkshake? Is it good with cereal? These are all things that we have to think about. So I think almond milk is good for almost nothing.
I don't know. That's like the plant-based section of the milk aisle. I mean, there'd be a big gap there if there wasn't any almond milk. So you need it for that.
For it being in the milk aisle.
Yeah, I must say as well, I've had the chocolate version of this, and it's not... Actually, it's... I only bought it once, so it can't have been great, or I probably would have bought it again. But it was sort of like mildly less...
I think you can taste the almond milk, though. And on the front, they've got pictures of almonds falling into milk. It's like, yeah, well, it's exactly what you taste like. There's not false advertising. I feel like you're right.
I mean, that's only for somehow that's only got... And I guess they compare this to other similar products to get the health star rating, from what I understand.
Yeah.
It's only got a 4 out of 5 health star rating. So, I mean, despite its 40-calorie boast here per serving, it also only gets 4 health stars. So I wonder what else this has in it. It's it doesn't have that much. It doesn't have necessarily sugar or anything. It's just got starches and salts and things.
I think we're going to rate it out of sustainability as well, just based on these statistics. I'm going to say, like, almond milk uses way too much water. That's 74.3 liters of water. The land use is low for almond milk, but comparatively, it's quite low for soy and for oat. So I don't feel like...
I'm going to say the sustainability is going to be less subjective, and you just give me a sustainability thing.
Sustainability rating, almond milk's going to rate the lowest. I'm going to say probably like a 2 out of 10. 0 out of 10, just so that we all know, is dairy.
I propose we're just going to go taste.
0 out of 10.
Taste, shell, and then like mouthfeel.
Taste, mouthfeel, and price. We're going to cover.
Mouthfeel and texture, So taste and texture / mouthfeel is
price.
just and price.
Yeah.
But yes, obviously. But I mean, that's not subjective, is it? Like, that's just it's going to cost that. I can't go into the IGA and go, know what?
Barter system's coming back, baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you're going to go buy your milk at the flea market or something. But if I'm going to the IGA, yes, price. Okay, so so the ones that we actually can have a subjective view on each are the mouthfeel / texture and the taste. So I don't know about you, but I've not gone into Woolies and then gone, yeah, look, that milk, $4, I'll give you 2. I mean, I don't know if it's going to fly.
Yeah. All right. Fair. Okay, cool. Well,
all right.
Basically, almond is racking up for us. It gets a 2.5 on taste out of 10 for me, a 1 out of 10 on texture / mouthfeel, and then 7 out of 10 for price because it's only $2.50, and 2 out of 10 for sustainability. Where are you landing on texture and mouthfeel for your ratings, babe?
I'm going to go mouthfeel. It's out of 10, right?
Yeah, out of 10.
2.5 for mouthfeel.
Yep. Okay.
I've given it a generous 4 for taste.
A 4? You surprised me, my friend. I was not anticipating that.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with that because this is a pretty low. Like we're rating pretty low anyway. It's
Yeah,
like
it does a low rating.
So this is out of a total of 40, right?
50 because sustainability. So that you
So let's go again. So what are your categories?
taste, texture, price, sustainability. Oh, there is only 40.
Yes. All right. Cool. All right. Cool.
All right.
So I mean,
But yeah.
maths isn't our strong suit, clearly.
What is the math set up to? So that's 8
6.5 and 9 for me.
and 9, and then that's 10.
I've got
and then
15.5 out of 40.
I get 12.5 out of 40. All right, so almond milk, you're not doing great. 12.5 out of 40.
Let me go and rinse these before the next one.
He's going to rinse those. We're going to try a different camera angle. You'll either be back here when we come back, or you'll be in a new place. Okay, you're in a new spot. How do you like that? Look at this. Changing. We are filming today actually in my folks' cottage that they have up on Airbnb, and we're staying with them for a little weekend away. It's Easter weekend. We actually live in Launceston now, but we are back at the old homestead in Wilmot, so that's fun. But our background is not always going to be this pretty. Just a heads up on that, because this is kind of a one-off background. Okay, lovely.
Here we go.
All right, sit down. Join us. Join us.
Us who? You and whom?
Me and our many, many listeners and viewers at home. Right, guys? Okay. Now we're moving on to the Uncle Toby's Oat Milk Deliciously Creamy. Now, this is relatively new. This one hasn't been out that long. We always like good oat milk. We've never tried this one, so...
I haven't tried that one. I'm going to say nothing more about it.
Well, he has tried it. I have never tried it. So I count as a person. I haven't tried it.
You do count as a person. I'm going to say, this is one, Uncle Toby's, you'd kind of go, they must know their oats pretty well by now.
Okay, that looks thicker even as I'm pouring it.
It looks like it's a bit, maybe like a little bit yellow from the color spectrum in there. Not in a bad way. It doesn't look creepy.
It looks like more of a cream than a white.
Yeah, it looks a lot milkier than the other one. So visually, wow, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's very sweet. After the unsweetened almond milk, that's very sweet, very oaky. Very thick.
Oaky?
I almost...
Oaty.
Oaky. It's oaky.
It's okay.
Oaty. It's okay. It's not... Yeah, all right. It's okay. It's very oaty. It's not oaky. It is very milky. You can see the residue on the glass there.
Like I'm doing
smelling
a
it like a wine, yeah.
But it does. It smells very oaty, which is not
I'm getting
surprising.
notes. I'm getting notes.
I'm getting oats.
I'm getting oat notes. Yeah, look... It almost tastes a little bit like you've got to chew through it. Like, why does it taste so much like...
I had that not that long ago, and that's sweeter.
Sweeter?
I had that
They've added more sugar?
And it seems like it's sweeter than I recall it being anyway. It doesn't taste bad by any means.
No, it doesn't taste bad. I don't love it.
I like oat milk. I don't like that. This is my problem with this. It's like
I'm going to give it a solid 5. I'm going to give it a solid 5 on taste.
Well,
I think it's
based on what I gave the others.
Well, I gave the others 2.5.
Yeah, so. I'm going to give that 6.5 out for taste.
Okay.
With the full knowledge that there are other oat milks that I would rank higher. Like overall, I actually like oat milk. I just thought that. Know what it tastes like? It tastes like you've had some porridge. Like back when I used to eat dairy, it tastes like you've had a bowl of porridge with sugar on it, and then this is the bit left over at the end.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it. Texture-wise, look, it's really like mouthfeel and texture. It's very creamy.
Yeah, texture's fine.
Texture is good. It's got a creamy sort of vibe. I think you would need to cover the taste a little bit.
I'm dropping that down to a 6 on taste after my second
sip.
I'm
giving it a 5 on taste. I'm going to give it like an 8 on texture, because texture is good. Like, texture is creamy.
Hang on,
it's
I
thick.
think what we need
but
to do
it's
here
flavor-wise
is,
that we...
I'm going to do the coffee.
All right.
Can you please pass me the oat milk? So this...
All right.
So...
Yep,
visually looking at this, and if we're going to talk about if this is part of what's going to formulate our
it is part
texture
of what
rating,
formulates. Shall we
that looks
all right.
fine. That looks like it looks.
I'm going to cut in some video and it basically
it is
for our
not curdled.
listeners at home, it doesn't look like it's curdling.
It's lightened the color of the coffee. It's and see, taste wise, that's really creamy and that's really good in a coffee.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna for texture.
So
and
texture and mouthfeel, I've gone 8.
Yeah, definitely 8.
For price, I'm giving like a 5 for sustainability. This is not Uncle Toby's. This is just oat milk generally.
So price wise, that's 5. You reckon?
I'm giving it a 5 because it is $3.80. It's not the cheapest. It's not the most expensive. I think that's well within a reasonable range. Like, you know, for what you'd pay for like a good.
That's actually like in the coffee. That's not too bad. That's You want to try that in coffee? That's not the right milk. Yeah, try this one.
I just was enjoying my coffee, but all right. No, it's good. I just wanted the listeners to be able to hear that I was drinking the
the other ones can see you not being able to correctly pilot a coffee cup here. So, you know.
She can't even handle a coffee cup. All right.
So I'm going to put that back to 6.5 for taste after trying it in a coffee because
all right.
I don't. No, it's staying at a 6.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the sustainability of oat milk. So, oat milk compared with dairy has 80% less greenhouse gases. It uses 60% less energy and 10 times less water. In order to get 1 cup of oat milk, you've got to. It costs or it uses and produces 0.18 kilos of emissions. It uses 0.15 square meters of land and it takes 9.6 liters of water. So compared with almond milk, which was 74.3 liters of water for 1 cup, it is a much more sustainable option compared with dairy, which is 125.6 liters for 1 cup. It's a much more sustainable option. So yeah, I would say that for sustainability, it's going to get a pretty good, it's going to get a pretty good rating. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10 for sustainability.
8? All right.
Yeah. Oat milk, you got a 5 out of 10 on taste. You got an 8 out of 10 on mouthfeel, texture. Price was a 5 out of 10. Sustainability, 8 out of 10. Adding up to a total of 26 out of 40, which is more than double what our almond milk has achieved. So doing pretty well, oat milk.
I gave it 27 as well because I ended up going.
Ooh, 27.
I ended up giving it a 6 overall for taste, and then I'm going to say an 8 for mouthfeel and texture because there was nothing like it didn't have any crunchiness or it didn't curdle in coffee. And when I say crunchiness with the milk, it sounds weird, but it just gives you that impression when you look at the almond milk in your coffee. It's not necessarily crunchy. It just looks curdled and all that, and it's not good. But the oat milk didn't do that, so I gave that an 8 as well for mouthfeel. And then based on your 8 and 5, you gave me for sustainability and price respectively. 27 out of 40 for me for the oat milk. And
okay, amazing.
I will say that I don't think that's like for a brand that you really think of when you think oats, Uncle Toby's. I don't think that I don't think they're really flying the flag for oat milk as well as they should.
Well, it's such a good point. You know, they should be doing better because Uncle Toby's is like the place that you think of for oats. Yeah, if you're talking about breakfast oats, you're like Uncle Toby's oats. Am I right? Am I right, people?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, I think they've just, by default, because oat milk is more palatable and they are Uncle Toby's, they've gone, yep. But there's something about it. Despite the taste not being too bad, it goes really decent in coffee. I mean, it's just because we're comparing oat milk to almond milk that it got even a 6 out of 10 for taste. Compared to other oat milks, I think Uncle Toby's wouldn't rank as highly. And there is something a little bit about it tastes a little bit like the bottom of your cereal bowl, Uncle Toby's.
It does. I kind of expect to find little bits of oats caught in my teeth. I'm like, yeah.
But, you know, it was fine and it was a massive improvement on the almond breeze. And I guess I'm a pretty fair, a pretty generous marker, it turns out.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our soy milks now. We've got 3 to review. Obviously, the sustainability rating is going to be the same for all three because we're basing it on a general sustainability rating for soy milk as a whole and not these brands in particular. I'd like to take this point as well in the video and in the podcast to say that there are a lot of other soy milks and a lot of other general milks that we have not tried here. We haven't tried pea milk. We haven't tried hemp milk. Like, there's a lot of other milks that we could be trying out.
Pea milk once.
We tried pea milk once and we didn't love it, but we aren't reviewing it in this podcast. So this is obviously a limited selection of milks that we're looking at here. We have included a few favorite brands like Happy Soy Boy and Bon Soy. But yeah, this is not by any means all of the milks that you could possibly try. But we are going to power through now and get on to Bon Soy. Now, we've never really bought Bon Soy. So this will be interesting.
I've had it from...
Daniel's going to go and rinse these cups out. But let's talk a little bit about the sustainability of soy milk in general before we get into these last three. So in terms of what effect one glass of milk has on the environment, when you're talking about one glass of dairy milk, that produces 0.63 kilos of emissions. It uses 1.79 square meters of land, and it uses 125.6 liters of water for 1 cup. So that is the measuring stick that we're using against our other milk alternatives. That's dairy. Now, soy milk, generally speaking, soy milk, not these brands in particular, soy milk produces 0.2 kilos in emissions. It uses 0.13 square meters of land, and it takes 5.6 liters of water. So that's much better. And it's actually, out of like looking at those ones where you're ranking it against the other ones, it is the most sustainable. It's actually more sustainable than oat milk, which I didn't realize because I did think that oat milk was the most sustainable milk for a long time.
Really? So,
yeah. Okay. Now, Bon Soy does not have a screw top. This does bother me about some of the fancy milk brands.
All right, yeah, that's
when they don't have a screw top, I'm a little bit like, just give us a screw top. I'm not really interested in putting an open carton of liquid back in the fridge. I know when I open the fridge, it's going to splash everywhere. I just don't like that.
That said, the convenience of the other milks is also due to the fact that they have an unnecessary piece of plastic. Yes,
okay, so good point.
Could have potentially used that as a sustainability thing.
We could have, yeah. We didn't, though.
No, we haven't.
And the thing is, these are not... I don't think these are recyclable anyway because it's got the foil inside. So I think that might make it not recyclable.
Jeez, that's a bloody big cup, isn't it?
It's very good, Daniel. All right.
I'm going to say... Right, so even compared to other soy milks, this looks the part. It looks milky. This looks really good.
Okay, the smell is definitely strong for soy.
It's strong, but it's not off-putting.
No, it smells like soy, and I mean we're vegan, and I quite regularly like pan-fry tofu and eat it, so I'm quite fine with the taste and smell of soy.
That's really good for a soy milk.
Okay, yeah, that's a good soy milk. Oh. And it's not too sweet. It's the right kind of sweet. There's a creaminess to it. It has a full mouthfeel that's very like milky.
It's got a kind of creamy, quote unquote, aftertaste a little bit. So that's surprisingly good. That's one of the better soy milks I've had.
That's Bon Soy. Now Bon Soy is more expensive. So Bon Soy is $4.80.
Oh yeah, that's it's a lot more expensive.
It's more expensive
like almost
than
double your almond breeze, but worth every cent, I would say.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good. Like,
okay,
for taste, good. I'm going to give that, like, a solid 8 out of 10.
I'm going to give that 8 as well.
Mouthfeel also gets a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah. It's about the same as the...
Price, I'm going to have to come down for, like, a 7 or a 6.
Oh,
6?
No, I reckon it's only worth a 5. If you're giving the Uncle Toby's got 5, and that was
yeah,
plus
but
less.
Uncle Toby... Oh, yeah.
I think, look, if you're going to go on that scale, you're going to
You're
have
right,
to give it about
okay.
4.
No, you're right. All right. You get 4 out of 10 for cost. Like, sorry, if price is important. Sometimes price, it doesn't matter though. Like, I guess sometimes I'm like, I will pay more if it's good. If it's going to be good, I'll just pay more for it.
Yeah, but I mean, you gave Uncle Toby's 5 and it costs less, so you're going to have to give it 4.
Okay, fine. That's good though. I feel like that would be good in cereal. That would be good. Like, I could drink this with cookies. That was why I put the with cookies rating there originally.
Because we don't have any cookies, so it's...
I know, but if you could have it with cookies, if like tasting it, you're like, this is nice, I could drink this with cookies. That seems to me like a good way to measure whether it is like a real milk.
Yeah, look, this is unlike some soy milks, it doesn't have like a sort of. I don't know. I feel like you can have an aftertaste or in your mouth, a mouthfeel afterwards.
Mouthfeel, good mouthfeel, not bad mouthfeel.
No, and like I
feel
think
you.
it can,
I feel you.
Sort of, you can feel like a bit dehydrated or something after you've
Yes.
had some soy milk.
Some of them have a weird drying after effect.
Yeah, like almost salty or something.
It might be salty.
But
Yeah.
you know what this one is that takes the edge off? I had to just glanced at the ingredients on the way past. It has tapioca sugar in it.
Really? That's
Not much though, I
interesting.
don't think, but it sort of might take the edge off a little bit.
I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10 for sustainability because we know...
9.5, wow.
Well, it's very sustainable comparative to all the other milks that we've tried today. It is the most sustainable.
I did not know that.
Well, soy milk is the most sustainable, more generally. So that's going to add up to 8 and 8 is 16.
Yours is 29.5.
29.5, yeah. Yeah, guys. All right, well,
Yeah, of course
29 point...
You got the same ratings as me. And yes.
29.5 out of 40 for Bonsoy. And that's against your other... Yep, you're doing really well, Bonsoy. All right, you rinse these two out, and we are going to try this one next. So the next one that we're going to...
I don't think we should. I'm going to say I think we should leave that one to last because it is quite sweet, and we know that, and so...
All right, the next one
Yeah,
we're going
we're
to
ruining
try
palate.
is Happy Happy Soy Boy. Happy Happy Soy Boy is incredibly popular. Everyone loves Happy Happy Soy Boy. Really popular, very expensive, and apparently the one that I got is out of date.
It's a best before, so...
Best before, we don't trust that. Like, who cares? Best before. It's fine. So we're gonna have it anyway. It's a month out of date. It's a month.
It's not quite a month.
It is close to a month out of date.
Bloody hell. All right.
But we're only going to try a little bit, so we'll be fine. We have had this before, and we have liked it. It is also famously one of the most popular soy milks out there on the market. Happy, Happy Soy Boy. It's preferred milk for a lot of baristas. Already coming out, that looks creamy AF.
Yeah, I'm going to say that looks like they've gone a bit overboard. It's a bit... The colour's not as...
That smells salty.
Is appealing.
Do you think it is off? So we'll see. Is it okay?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Look, we like Happy Happy Soy Boy. We liked it when we had it. I was silly to not buy one that was yeah.
No, I don't think that's got anything to do with it. It's like a long life milk that's in its carton. I think it tastes fine. It's
Yeah,
just I just don't think it's quite as
I don't
nice
think it was
as the
quite as
Bonsoy.
good as Bonsoy.
No, it's not.
No. Oh, that's a hot take right there because Happy Happy Soy Boy is one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Bonsoy one. I for my palate was
I'm
nicer.
surprised. I think the Bonsoy was nicer.
I also think the texture. It's a bit darker and it's a bit like it's a very vibrant color when it comes out, like alarmingly so. Where you can. It looks unnatural. Like if this is something that you're using as a proxy for milk, it looks unnatural. It's a bit too. There's something off-putting about the color for me. So I'm going to give that probably like no, I haven't done the coffee test on this one or for the last one. For that.
All right. Well, he's going to do the coffee test, guys. We'll see how that goes.
I just know the Bonsoy. I actually had that in a coffee the other day, and it was nice. So I'm assuming it's pretty good in a coffee actually, and the texture's good, and it's got no weird aftertaste. It's pretty good in a coffee, and I know that the other one is too. So, but I think the texture not quite as nice as the other one either, and just the color. If we're gonna go on
Well, how's it presenting to you? Is this presenting like a
Yeah.
milk that you'd want to have? That's a good question.
I wouldn't.
I'm not going to kick it out of bed. I'm just saying
I'm not
it's...
going to take it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that. I mean, the milk's not coming to bed.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. I'm going to give it.
I don't love it. So I landed at a 7 out of 10 for taste because I feel like, it can be okay. 6.5 out of 10 for texture. And 1 out of 10 for price, because we should talk about this. Happy Happy Soy Boy is one of the most expensive ones in the market.
What? How much is that?
$6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's an average around like 6
One.
or 6.50 for.
So I'm going to give that 1.
I'm going to give it 1 out of 10, yeah. Because that's expensive.
I think it deserves 2 if you've given the...
It's expensive. All right, we'll give it 2. Which brings it up to 25. Yeah. It does get a 9.5 for sustainability because it is soy milk though. So all up, that adds up for me for a 25 out of 40 for the Happy Happy Soy Boy.
Sustainability is 9.5 again, right?
Yeah, that remains the same now.
And then 2 for... So I'm going to go... That's a 24.5 for me.
Yeah, I got 25.
So that means, like, for both of us, the Uncle Toby's oat milk was a bit better.
Yeah, that's correct. All right, well, I think now we are on to our final milk.
All right, okay.
This is one that we've had before. We like this milk. We've had it more than once. So this is the So Good by Sanitarium Soy Vanilla. And it is supposedly high in calcium, gets 5-star health rating. Don't know how that is because it's a sweet milk. It has a sweet flavor. It does. Filtered water, soy protein, cane sugar, fructose, vegetable oils.
Cane sugar and fructose.
Yeah.
So
it's also been fortified with vitamin B12, A, B2, B1, which is quite common with soy milks. And all these milks, they tend to be fortified with calcium, with B12. They do that.
Wash themselves a bit for the health senses.
Yeah,
there or something.
quite
They've gone,
possibly.
let's wax a B12 and they get us up to 5 stars.
Yeah, I mean, quite possibly. That's something that they could have done.
Sweet.
It is very sweet. It's definitely like, if you want something that tastes like a classic milk kind of taste, we tend to like this.
This is a good one that you can have like a chocolate milk or milk with cookies. And
milk with cookies works for milk with cookies.
so you know what? I think this
works
is actually
in a coffee. Great for cooking. We found a bit of a hack with this. So if you use this for cooking, it like really ramps up the vanilla flavor in your cooking.
But if you're
well,
doing
I mean specifically
pancakes,
when you're making
pancakes, this is
dating. Or like a cake, something that you want like a creamy, vanilla-y kind of flavor.
So I'm going to say
Cheers.
texture and appearance wise, if we're going to use that as part of the
Oh my god! After having the rest of them, this is so sweet. This is really sweet.
It is, but
it's nice though.
But
and it's creamy.
And it's vanilla, and you know it's going to be sweet.
You know it's going to be
and
sweet.
So usually you're only having
flavor.
a little bit of that in a coffee or something. So for what it is, I think it's a little bit unfair in some respects because we perhaps maybe we should do another one sometime. Depending,
we'll do
hit us up and let us
round 2.
know if this has been any help.
Let
or
us know in
entertaining
the
or whatever.
comments. Which one do you like? Have you tried any of these soy milks? What would you like us to try next? If we do a round 2 of different milks and milk alternatives,
I'm gonna
let us know what you want us to try next.
right now. We do a round 2 of flavored ones, and we bring this one back.
We do chocolate and a vanilla and Oh, I like that idea.
So we could do a chocolate Vita Soy maybe. There's a chocolate
all right.
oat milk I've
I'm here for
tried,
that.
and there's
look, I'm gonna land at a solid 9 out of 10 for taste on this. 9 out of 10.
Look, it's a 9 out of 10 for taste for sure.
9 out of 10 for mouthfeel for me as well.
Yeah, it tastes good.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah, look, it's what I was going to say is despite this being vanilla-y and the fact that it says vanilla on the front. I just don't know why this is lighter in color than what the Happy Happy Soy Boy was, which is something that should probably concern us about the other one because this one, they put some other stuff in there.
Yeah, we should be worried about that. Okay, well, look, I really like it. I think it's one of the best. I think we actually rated the same in this instance, 9.97, 9.5.
No, I'm going to go, actually, 9. I think sustainability, you're going to have to mark this one down because it's got cane sugar in it.
Okay. Interesting, but we weren't marking the actual things because I haven't researched each of the...
No, true.
Yeah, because the thing is, who knows what these other 2 brands, Bonsoy and Happy Happy Soy Boy, do in terms of how sustainable they are, who they're associated with, where they're sourcing their ingredients, what are their processes. I haven't done that research. So we are more talking generally out of your options here against dairy milk, soy milk, almond milk, oat milk, which one was more sustainable? The answer was soy milk. But as for brand to brand, we're not covering that here. So we can't mark it down unless we researched the rest of them.
I'm giving that an 8 for taste, actually, because it's a
Oh,
bit
yeah?
too sweet.
It is
for me.
sweet, yeah.
Which is great, and it's good if you're only having it in coffee, but I think...
It's a lot in a cup of milk, I have to say. All right, that's fair.
I did have hot chocolate with that over winter. And
It is nice, yeah. So what does that add up to for me? Because I'm not good at the maths. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock.
Hang on.
He's not good at maths either. Look at him pretending that he was good at maths. What a lie.
34 and a half.
34 and a half.
Wow,
okay.
that's very generous.
Ooh, yeah. So 34 and a half out of 40 I got for the So Good Vanilla, which is by far the highest score.
What did you give it for price?
I gave it 7 out of 10 for price because it's $3. It's $3 flat, which is our second cheapest of all the milks that we tried today.
Yeah, but Almond Breeze is cheaper, so I don't think you can...
Almond Breeze is gross, though. What do you want from me?
I think you need to give
It's 50 cents more for this over Almond Breeze.
Yeah, right.
And the other ones here are like $1, $2, $3, $5 more. Like,
yeah, I still reckon that it deserves a 6 for price though, because it's more expensive than the... No, all right. No, look, I've been overruled here. I've given it 8 for taste, 9 for texture. Apparently, it gets 9.5 for sustainability and 7 for price. So 17. So that's 33.5.
I think, we've got a winner here. Winner! But obviously, like, there are others that we would try, and this is specifically if you're after a sweet, very milky tasting, like for drinking milk on its own in a cup. I mean, in coffee, it's really nice. But if you're doing, like, some people might want it for smoothies, in which case they might be like, I do almond milk because I actually don't want the flavor of milk or a sweet milk for my smoothie.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah.
So it obviously depends on what you're using it for. But, just sort of talking about the sustainability of these 3 different types of milk and talking about, your mouthfeel and your basic, like, actually taste testing a milk in a glass, not like I'm going to make 50 things with each of these milks and then, talk about that. I think that definitely adds up that this would be the best one.
I'm going to say that the high score of that somewhat surprises me, like how much that's ended up. I think it's gotten a bit of an artificial boost from the sustainability and the generous price score that one's gotten, to be honest with you, because I didn't mind it, and look, I gave it an 8 for taste, which is the same as I gave the Bonsoy, and
I you know what, overall I think I prefer the Bonsoy.
Yeah,
for taste.
I think...
So what have I written for Bonsai? I think I gave it better. I did give the Bonsai a better mark on taste. Yeah, no, 8. Did I give this 8?
No, you gave it 9.
Oh, wrong. Okay. Then I'm taking it down to 7, which brings this down to 32. And what does Bonsai get? One moment, please.
Bonsai got...
Bonsai got 29.5 because of mouthfeel and price.
That's sustainability.
All right, well... Sustainability had the same rating. It was the price.
Right, the price, yeah.
Well, you know what? That's fine. I still think Bonsai overall is a better milk because honestly, price is less of a factor, I think, when it comes to, like, if you just want a good tasting milk. So my number 1 choice here is now Bonsai.
Yeah, see, this is the problem with your criteria is that it's not borne out in the end result. But I would agree, like, if I'm going down the aisle, depends what, like, if I'm going to make pancakes, I would definitely go that one. And it's a good, if you've got a spare one in the cupboard because you've got one there for cooking, you haven't been to the shops, it's great in your coffees as well. It's maybe a little too sweet if you're going to have a full glass of a milk with with some cookies or something. By the same token, there are other oat milks that I think are vastly superior to the Uncle Toby's one.
We didn't get, like, we normally get Vita Soy Oat Milky, and we quite like that one.
I would give that probably a good 8 for taste as well, which would have probably bumped that up to around the same, to a similar kind of result on the scale as what the Bonsai got overall. So I'm going to say that Uncle Toby's not the greatest oat milk. Not the greatest oat milk.
And I would say we will look at doing other oat milks in the future, and we'll discuss that. If you head over to my Instagram stories, I'll do like a story about my oat milks and which ones I like this coming week, and I'll make a reel or something, after this podcast is out. You'll find one on the Insta. But yeah. I don't know. Bonsai, kind of a fan. Didn't know it was that good.
No,
would get again.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And Look, the
It is
vanilla's
more
so
expensive,
good.
though,
It is. It is tasty. It's yeah. I don't know how they got a 5-star health rating for that. I don't know what they're comparing it to. Like other soy milks don't have cane sugar in them. Other plant-based milks just don't taste that sweet. I don't know how it's gotten 5. I mean, but hey, there it is. It's got 5. I didn't know it was that sustainable either, but apparently it is. And yeah, I mean, look, that's up there too. That'd be. I think overall, despite the end result, if I'm going through the shops and we need some milk for multi-purpose things at home, I'd probably get the bonsai.
Yeah, I gotta say, our ratings might not reflect it just because of like the price rating and the sustainability. Oh, the sustainability rating was the same, but the price rating. But I would say bonsai is a better milk overall. I like bonsai. I'm glad that we delved into this. This was a complicated episode. We've been at this, a while doing veganism. We have been vegan for more than 2 years now for both of us. I think it's about 2 years, 6 months or 7 months now for me. And it's 2 years, 3 months or something for you. A little bit longer, yeah. So yeah, we've been at it a while, and we've been at this episode a while. So it's probably time to wrap it up. But thank you so much for joining us this week on the podcast. We will be back in a fortnight, and we're going to be releasing every fortnight on a Saturday morning now. So just go and check that out and head over to Instagram, follow us there. If you are enjoying the podcast and you want to show your support, one of the best ways that you can do that is to just like and rate and review the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube and you'd like to see more of it, please let me know. Just drop some comments below. Let me know what you liked about the video. Let me know what you want us to cover next. Same with over on Instagram. You can hit us up there and let us know what you'd like us to cover next on the podcast. Thanks so much for being here, and we will catch you in a fortnight.